That for me, because it's harder when this is not done. And then she starts.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Still nothing, Dana? No, would you just let me know? Yeah, if I don't see him, if you could just let me know. Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Commissioner Hughes. This is the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar for Monday, April 28th. The court's orders for the taking of DNA samples and fingerprints issued on the first calendar of April will apply to the hearings on this calendar. As we get started on the calendar here this morning, I will call each of you into the courtroom one at a time. I will ask one of you to stand behind this gray podium here in front of me in the courtroom. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a gray podium here right in front of me. I will ask the next two people that I intend to call into the courtroom to line up in the two chairs right inside this door. So that's how we'll cycle through this calendar. If you would, please listen carefully for your name to be called and then cycle through the chairs into the courtroom. I know that seems a little bit kind of like elementary musical chairs, but I promise you it will make this calendar go much quicker and everybody will get to where they need to be after this a little bit faster if you will just do that, please. Okay, once you work your way into the courtroom and you're in behind the podium, the first thing I will do is ask you to state your full name and date of birth. Then I will explain to you why you're here. After that, I will tell you whether you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. Those lawyers are sometimes called public defenders. Whether or not you qualify to be represented by a public defender, you always have the right to A, be represented by counsel, B, hire a private lawyer if you wish to have a private lawyer defend you. So if you don't qualify for a court-appointed lawyer, you will have to hire a private lawyer to be represented. If you do qualify for a public defender, you can have the public defender's office represent you, but you do still have the right to elect to hire a private lawyer instead of the public defender. Good morning. Do I have a court interpreter on the line?
Yes, good morning. This is Jared, Clark Interpreter.
Good morning, Mr. Clark. I'm going to back up a little bit so that the interpreter can translate some of what I said, because anybody that doesn't speak English that needs an interpreter, I want them to have that information too. Okay, Mr. Clark, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So as you can hear, we will use a Spanish interpreter for anybody that does require the assistance of an interpreter.
Como pueden escuchar, vamos a usar los servicios de un intérprete de habla hispana para todos los que necesiten intérprete en español.
A little recap of the most important information that I covered before the interpreter connected.
Un pequeño resumen de la información que presenté antes de que se conectara el intérprete.
Any of you here on criminal allegations, you have the right to the assistance of counsel.
Para todos los que están aquí por acusaciones penales, tienen derecho a la ayuda de un abogado.
When you're in the courtroom, I will tell you whether you qualify for a court-appointed lawyer or whether you will have to hire a private lawyer to defend you.
Cuando estén aquí en la sala ante mí, les voy a indicar si tienen derecho a que se les nombre a un abogado o si tienen que contratar a un abogado por su propia cuenta.
When you're in the courtroom, after we talk about why you're here and whether you get a court-appointed lawyer, I will give you the next court hearing dates and times you'll be required to attend.
Y después de tratar la cuestión de abogado, les voy a indicar sus próximas audiencias.
The last thing that we'll do while you're in the courtroom is talk about whether you are legally eligible for release from custody, and if so, on what terms and conditions you can be released.
El siguiente tema va a ser su posible puesta en libertad. Si de acuerdo a la ley tienen derecho a una puesta en libertad y si es así, bajo qué condiciones.
In addition to that right to the assistance of counsel, you all also have the right to remain silent.
Aparte del derecho de tener abogado, tienen derecho también de guardar silencio.
Anything that you do choose to say while you're in the courtroom will be preserved on the recording and can be used against you at any point in these criminal proceedings.
Cualquier cosa que digan durante esta audiencia se va a grabar, se va a conservar y se puede usar en contra de ustedes en el futuro en su caso.
Unless you have made arrangements with a private lawyer, there will not be a lawyer in the courtroom today for purposes of your defense.
Hoy día, menos que hayan hecho un arreglo para tener un abogado particular, no va a haber abogado en la sala hoy para la defensa de ustedes.
Because you won't have a lawyer in here and because anything you say could be used against you, I will strongly caution all of you not to make any statements regarding the facts about why you're here.
Ya que no va a haber abogado, les voy a indicar una precaución fuertemente de no hablar sobre su caso mientras estén aquí.
Last thing I'll tell you before we get started is that all of the information you get while you're in the courtroom will be in a written document that you'll get a copy of when you step back into that room.
Lo último que les voy a informar es que toda la información que les voy a dar y que les he dado va a estar en una hoja que van a recibir que deben llevarse consigo cuando salgan.
So please don't feel like you need to memorize the information you get while you're in the courtroom, but please keep that paperwork with you wherever you go from here because that paperwork will have all the information unique to your case.
No creen que tienen que memorizar toda la información que les voy a dar, pero sí es importante que se lleven la hoja, que no la pierdan, porque va a tener esa información importante.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Can I please have Freddie Ramirez Ramos into the courtroom behind the gray podium?
Entonces vamos a empezar. Freddy Ramírez Ramos puede pasar al podio gris que está frente a mí.
Okay, good morning, sir. Can I ask you to please state your full name and date of birth after the translation?
Buenos días, señor. Gracias por estar aquí. Puede decir su nombre completo y fecha de nacimiento.
Mi nombre es Freddy Ramírez Ramos. Mi fecha de nacimiento es 05/28/86.
My name is Freddie Ramirez Ramos. My date of birth is 05/28/1986.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramirez. You are here on two different matters. The first is allegations of new charges.
Gracias, señor Ramírez. Está aquí por dos casos. Primero es con nuevas acusaciones.
Those allegations are one count of unlawfully using a means of transportation, a Class 6 felony.
La primera acusación es uso ilícito de un medio de transporte, delito mayor de categoría 6.
And second is one count of knowingly displaying a false license plate. That's a class 1 misdemeanor.
La segunda acusación es exhibir a sabiendas una placa de automóvil falsa, delito menor de categoría 1.
I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you.
He determinado que hay motivo fundado para respaldar esas acusaciones y he nombrado a la Defensoría Pública para representar a usted.
Your next court hearings on those new allegations will be a status conference May 5th and then a preliminary hearing May 7th, both at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown.
Sus próximas audiencias para este caso de nuevas acusaciones es una consulta de actualización el 5 de mayo, una audiencia preliminar el 7 de mayo, ambas a las 8:30 y se van a llevar a cabo en el juzgado del Tribunal Superior que se encuentra en el centro de Phoenix.
The second matter that you're here on is an allegation that those new charges violated term 1 of your probation.
La segunda razón por la que está aquí es un caso en que se le presenta debido a un caso nuevo que usted quebrantó el régimen a prueba que ya tenía.
I have also appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you in that probation matter.
También he nombrado la Defensoría Pública para representarlo en el caso del quebrantamiento del régimen a prueba.
Your next court hearing in the probation matter will be a revocation arraignment May 5th at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown.
Su próxima audiencia para el caso del quebrantamiento del régimen a prueba va a ser una lectura de cargos y revocación el 5 de mayo a las 8:30 también en el juzgado del Tribunal Superior que se encuentra en el centro de Phoenix.
On each of these cases, you have a $2,500 secured appearance bond for a total of $5,000 all secured appearance.
Para cada acusación tiene una fianza de $2,500 de caución real que se suman a un total de $5,000.
Secured appearance means that you can use a bonding company to post that bond if you choose to.
De caución real significa que puede usar un fiador para depositar la fianza si así desea.
If you post that bond and you're released from custody, you cannot have contact with any alleged victims or witnesses of the new allegations.
Si usted deposita la fianza y sale en libertad, no podrá tener ninguna comunicación ni contacto con ninguna presunta víctima ni testigo de las nuevas acusaciones.
You also cannot possess any weapons or drugs without a valid prescription if you're released from custody.
Si sale en libertad, tampoco podrá poseer ningún arma y tampoco ninguna droga ilícita, tampoco ningún medicamento que requiere de receta médica sin la receta.
Do you understand all of those conditions?
¿Entiende usted todas esas condiciones?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. You can work your way back to your left and get your paperwork.
Muy bien, puede pasar a la izquierda y recoger sus papeles.
Mr. Clark, would you please make an inquiry of the gallery for me before I excuse you to make sure we don't miss anybody that requires your assistance?
Sure, no problem. Buenos días, damas y caballeros. Si hay alguien más que necesite intérprete en español, levanta la mano, por favor.
No hands or hands? No hands. Okay. I'm told no hands are being raised. Thank you very much for your help, Mr. Clark. You are free to disconnect.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you, sir. Okay, can I please have Michael Lennon into the courtroom behind the gray podium? Liliana Aparicio, if you would please take a seat in that first chair inside the door. Keith Manuel, if I could ask you to have a seat in the second chair. You can just keep your hat with you. You can hold it there, put it wherever you feel like you want to put it. That's fine. Okay, can I, it fell. Okay, can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Michael Lennon, 4582.
Did you say 4582? Okay, thank you, Mr. Lennon. You are here on 3 bench warrants, all 3 of them issued by the Superior Court when you failed to appear at sentencing hearings in 3 different existing felony drug cases. In all 3 of those cases, you have a lawyer already assigned to you. That lawyer will continue to defend you. Your next court hearing in all 3 of these cases will be the same. It will be a status conference May 5th at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On each of those 3 warrants, you have a $2,500 secured appearance bond. So your total bond for all 3 warrants will be $7,500. It is all secured appearance, so you can use a bonding company. If you post that and you're released from custody, you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a question?
Yes, because I do know it was for my sentencing. I'd already served my time for it. And the only reason why I missed is because I had a psychotic episode and I was in treatment. It's all documented. And then when I got out, I was in rehab. And so I literally totally, it's just anyway,
So I'm not entirely sure how you could have served time for this if you haven't been sentenced for it yet. But aside from that, I'm not saying you're wrong. That could very well be the case. I'm not trying to cut you off. I just don't want you to make any material admissions that the court could use against you or the defense, the state could use against you. That's all information that the court that issued these warrants will want. So if you get this bond posted and you're out of custody, okay, so if you don't post this bond, what I would suggest is to the extent that you have somebody you could contact to gather that information. Have you been in contact with your lawyer this whole time?
No, ma'am. Like I said, it was a psychotic episode, and so I wasn't aware of this until I was picked up, and then it was like...
And your lawyer didn't know anything about that? That your lawyer didn't know that episode or your subsequent rehab was going on?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, yeah, from when I got released, because it was part of the deal, but I got released prior to that. Like, I even signed, all my paperwork has already been signed for my sentence and everything.
Yeah, you just made the judge to actually sentence you. Okay. So, yeah, because I'm not the one that set those bonds and issued those warrants, I cannot change the amounts of those. So you will have to post that bond in order to be eligible for release. I was trying to see if your release order has the phone number to the public. Are you being defended by the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am. It was Leslie. I can't.
Do you happen to have contact information for your lawyer with you?
No, ma'am, I don't. It was Leslie.
Leslie George?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so she is still your assigned lawyer. I just want to see. Officer, do you have a pen on you? If I say the number to the public defender's office, could you write it on his paperwork?
Yes.
Okay. I want to, since I can't change that bond, I want to get you, since I'm not appointing counsel, I don't think that the phone number goes in your release order, so I want to get it to you so that you can use any phone back there to try to get a hold of your lawyer to see if there's anything they can do for you between now and your first court hearing or your next court hearing.
And is there anybody I can't get an expedited court hearing?
I can't change the court hearing, so it will be May 5th. That's the only option I have coming out of this court, but that's not to say it couldn't get changed or that you couldn't get these release conditions modified, but it'll be your lawyer that has to take that up with the trial court. That's why I'm trying to get you that number so you can get in contact with your lawyer. Okay, so the phone number to the public defender's office is 602-506-7711, and your lawyer, try to remember this, I don't know if she'll write this down, your lawyer's name is Leslie George. So that number is not going to take you directly to Miss George, it's just going to get you to the public defender's office. So you can call them and say, hey, my name is Michael Lynn, and I'm trying to get a hold of my lawyer, Leslie George, and maybe they can transfer you or give you a number directly to her.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
In the event that I'm not, able to not be here till the 5th, can you put on there if I am hypoglycemic? I've been in here, I was doing medicines yesterday at 8 o'clock. I didn't check my blood sugar till 3 o'clock this morning. It's been from 51, 63, 51, 41. It's just now got up to 80. They really don't pay attention to us when we say we have certain ailment that they need to feel, hence the lethargic.
Yeah, so I don't have any control over MCSO's operations or medical, but what I will tell you is if you don't post that bond, you're not going to stay here. You'll go to a different facility that's more permanent. They have like a real cafeteria, they have beds, they have a full medical staff. So to the extent that you don't think you're getting the medical attention you need here in this facility, when you're transferred, let them know first thing right away that you need to be seen by medical.
Okay, yeah, because I won't be posting I won't be posting, so you might as well just go ahead and, because at least if I can get over there, I can still.
Yeah, so if you don't post out, as soon as you leave here, you'll go to classification and they'll move you to a different facility. It might take a while. I don't mean to create the appearance that this is going to happen right away. But you will get into the pipeline for transfer. So feel free to continue to communicate to staff here that you wish to be seen by medical, but also communicate that when you're transferred and make that a continuous, repeated, I'd like to be seen by medical so that we can get you some medical attention if you need it. Okay, anything else, Mr. Linden? Okay, thank you very much. Don't forget your hat down there, yeah. Okay, Liliana Aparicio, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. GyroLamb Zambrano Ramirez, if I could ask you to please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Liliana Aparicio, 8/12/02.
Thank you, Ms. Aparicio. You are here on two different matters. The first matter that you're here on is allegations of new charges. Those allegations are one count of narcotic drug possession for sale. It is a Class 2 felony, and one count of dangerous drug possession. It is a Class 4 felony. I have found probable cause to support those new allegations, and I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your next court hearings on the new allegations will be a status conference May 5th and then a preliminary hearing May 7th. They'll both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. On those new allegations, you have a $1,000 secured appearance bond. The second matter that you're here on is a probation violation warrant. In that case, a petition to revoke your probation alleges that you have violated terms 3 and 5. I've also appointed the Public Defender's Office for you in that probation case. Your next hearing in that matter will be a revocation arraignment May 5th at 8:30. On that warrant, you have a $250 secured appearance bond. So your total bond will be $1,250. It is all secured appearance. If you post that and you're released from custody, you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. And if you're released from custody, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours, which is 3 days. So if you get out within 3 days, call your probation officer. Do you understand?
Wait, what again? What, 3 days what?
If you get out of custody, once you're released from custody, from the point that you're out, within 3 days, call your probation officer.
Oh.
Okay, any other questions? All right, thank you very much. You can step back and get your paperwork. Keith Manuel to the podium in the courtroom, please. Adam Miriami, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Can you write here 21104?
Thank you very much. You are here on 2 probation violation warrants. In both cases, petitions to revoke your probation allege that you have violated terms 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer for you in both cases. Your next court hearing in each case will be a revocation arraignment May 5th at 8:30 in the probation court downtown. On each of these 2 warrants, you have a $100 secured appearance bond. So your total bond will be $200. It is all secured appearance. If you post that and you're released from custody, you cannot possess any weapons or any drugs without a valid prescription. And same thing, if you're released from custody, within 3 days after being released, you have to call your probation officer. Do you understand all of those conditions? Okay, thank you, Mr. Manuel. GyroLamb Zambrano Ramirez, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. Enrique Serrano Ayala, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Diagram Alfredo Zambrano Ramirez, 06-1904.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zambrano Ramirez. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 1 count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle, that's a Class 5 felony, 1 count of racing, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of reckless driving, that's a Class 2 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support these allegations, and I have appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your next court hearings on these allegations will be a status conference May 13th, and then a preliminary hearing May 15th. They'll both take place at 8:30 in the morning in the Superior Court downtown.
Can you say that one more time?
May 13th and May 15th. In your paperwork, you'll have the date, time, address, and phone number for the court.
Okay.
I will tell you, I was inclined to put a pretty substantial bond on this case in order to secure your release from custody because of the risk of harm that these types of allegations pose to the traveling public. But the county attorney's office has submitted a written recommendation regarding release conditions and asked that I release you to the supervision of pretrial services. So I am going to accept the county attorney's recommendation. I'm going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. What that means is you will not have to post a bond to secure your release from custody. You will get out of custody. You will be responsible for getting yourself to both of your next court hearings. You will also be responsible for contacting pretrial services once you're out of custody. Their contact information will be in a packet. So you'll get your release paperwork and then you'll get a packet from pretrial. So their contact information will be in there. Please keep that so you can call them once you're out.
All that numbers and stuff is right there?
It is, yes. It's all in that paperwork and that packet. Also, once you're out of custody, you cannot possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. And in the event you do not have a valid driver's license, you can't operate a motor vehicle. Okay, do you understand all of that information or do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that was no to the questions, right?
No,
Yes,
no
you
questions.
understand?
No questions, I
Okay,
understand.
all right, very good. You can step back and get your paperwork. Thank you. Adam Miriami to the podium in the courtroom, please. Ian Cannon, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Adam Maricopa, July 17, 2004.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miriami. You are here on allegations of new charges. The allegations against you are 1 count of unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle. It is a Class 5 felony. 1 count of racing, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of reckless driving, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support those allegations, and I've appointed the public defender to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference May 13th, and then a preliminary hearing May 15th. Both of them will be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. I am, based on the county attorney's recommendation, releasing you to the supervision of pretrial services. So you'll have similar conditions to what I told the last gentleman. You will get out of custody. You do not need to post a bond. Once you're out of custody, you'll be responsible for getting yourself to both of your court hearings. You will also be responsible for contacting pretrial services once you're out of custody. Their contact information will be in a packet that you get with your release paperwork, so please keep that so you have their phone number once you're out of custody. Last, once you are released, you are ordered not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. And if you don't have a valid driver's license, you cannot operate a motor vehicle. Do you understand all of those conditions?
So I don't have a valid driver license anymore?
I don't know. I'm not revoking it. So all I'm saying is if you have a valid driver's license, you can operate a motor vehicle as long as you're complying with all rules of the road, including posted speed limits. If you don't have a valid driver's license, or if you later get notification that it's been suspended, revoked, something like that, then do not operate a motor vehicle.
And I'd hear it at the court that my thing is suspended? Or?
If it is to be suspended, you would either get notice from MVD or, yes, your lawyer would tell you in court.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
No, everything you told me is on that paper?
It is, yes.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miriami. Enrique Serrano Ayala, if you would please work your way to the podium in the courtroom. Owen Wiro, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please, sir?
Enrique Serrano, February 8, 1983.
Did you say 83 or 93?
83.
83. Thank you, Mr. Serrano. You are here on a bench warrant that was issued after a direct complaint was filed. A direct complaint is a written document that alleges new allegations against you. In this case, those allegations are 3 counts of aggravated driving under the influence, all occurring with a passenger under the age of 15 in the vehicle. They are all class 6 felonies, and they are all alleged to have been committed August 21st of 2022.
Yes.
I've appointed a lawyer to defend you against those allegations. Your next court hearings will be a status conference May 13th and then a preliminary hearing May 15th. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. And on this warrant, I am releasing you on your own recognizance, so you will be released from custody. That means it will be your responsibility to get yourself to both of those next court hearings. Let me get through this and I'll get to you here at the end. Once you are released from custody, you cannot possess or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. If you don't have a valid driver's license, you can't operate a motor vehicle. If you do have a valid driver's license and you operate a motor vehicle, you cannot have a passenger under the age of 18 in the vehicle while you are driving. Okay, what questions do you have?
I just want to know why the county don't let me know that I have I have a warrant for I get arrested. Because,
So I don't know. Well, let me see if I can tell you. It looks like what happened is once the direct complaint was filed, a summons with a court date was mailed to the address on file with the court. That mail came back returned undeliverable. It looks like the court then attempted multiple other addresses. All of the mail came back returned, so that's why they issued the warrant.
I never get anything.
Well, I know you didn't get it because it was all returned to the court.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you moved. I don't know if the court had a bad address. I don't know why that would have happened, but here we are.
Yes, I changed my address and I let them know everything. It was
Who did you tell?
To the immigration officers.
Oh, that's the federal government.
But I mean, everything was on file. I mean, all.
Well, it doesn't look like it was on file with the state.
With all my fingerprints and everything, and also I make a phone call to the county to ask them what's going on with my DUI. It says nothing is coming out right now. And then last year they called me and to verify if he is still living the same address, which
Who called you?
The county. And also I tell him, hey, did I do something wrong? He says, no, you're not, but you're fine. But
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. I don't know of the county ever making phone calls to verify addresses, but I will tell you the warrant was issued 2 months ago. So I don't know. And quite honestly, Mr. Serrano, none of this matters because why you got to this point here and how that happened, I don't know, but it doesn't change the fact that you're here now and there's new charges. So I'm not holding you on a bond. I'm going to release you from custody. So you just have to go to your next court hearings, talk to your lawyer, and get this case back on track.
when is my hearing?
Your first hearing is May 13th.
May 13th. Okay.
It'll be in that paperwork. So keep that paperwork in there. You'll have dates, times, address, and phone number to the court. You'll also have the phone number to the public defender's office. So if you want to try to get a hold of a lawyer that will represent you before your hearing on the 13th, you can use the phone number in that paperwork and try and call them as soon as you get out of here. Okay, any other questions?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. You can step back and get your paperwork. Ian Cannon to the podium in the courtroom, please. Jarrell Gibson, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Ian Cannon, 62483.
Thank you, Mr. Cannon. You are here on an allegation of a new charge. That allegation is 1 count of assault. It is a class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause to support that allegation. I also determined that you are entitled to a court-appointed lawyer to defend you. That lawyer will be appointed for you by the next judge you see at your next court hearing. That hearing will be an arraignment hearing May 13th. It will be at 9:30 in the morning in the White Tank Justice Court. I am releasing you on your own recognizance, so you will be released from custody and you'll be responsible for getting yourself to that next court hearing. Once you are released from custody, you cannot return to the scene where the alleged underlying events took place to the extent that the alleged victim also lives at that same location. You cannot have contact, physical or otherwise, with the alleged victim between now and at least your first hearing on May 13th. You cannot possess any weapons or consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. And you are ordered to strictly comply with the terms of any orders of protection, if any have been or are later served upon you. Do you understand all of those conditions?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cannon. You can step back and get your paperwork. Owen Wiro to the podium in the courtroom, please. Alejandro Razzo, if I could ask you to please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Owen Wiro, 7/22/1982.
Thank you, Mr. Wiro. You are here on an allegation of a new charge. That allegation is 1 count of dangerous drug possession. It is a class 4 felony. I did find probable cause to support that allegation, and I have appointed the public defender's office to represent you. Your next court hearings will be a status conference May 13th, and then a preliminary hearing May 15th. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. I am releasing you on your own recognizance, so you will be released from custody. You don't need to post a bond. Once you're out of custody, you will be responsible for getting yourself to both of your next court hearings. You are also ordered not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription once you're out of custody. Do you understand those conditions?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Do you have questions?
Am I going to another court too?
If you are, I don't know that, but MCSO might know if there's other holds on your door card.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Wiro. Jarrell Gibson, if you would please work your way into the courtroom. George Cazares, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Good morning.
How you doing?
Can I ask you to state your name and date of birth, please? When you do that, if you could I just want to see your mouth while you're talking. You can put your mask back up when you're done.
Okay.
Can I have your name and date of birth?
Jarrell Gibson, February 17, 1996.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. And you're free to put your mask back on now if you wish to. Okay, you are here on an allegation of a new charge. The allegation against you is 1 count of driving on a suspended driver's license. It is a class 1 misdemeanor. Because that is a misdemeanor allegation, you're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. You do still have the right to counsel, though. You'll just have to hire a lawyer if you wish to be represented. Okay. Your next court hearing will be an arraignment hearing May 13th. It will take place at 1:30 in the afternoon in the West McDowell Justice Court. I am releasing you on your own recognizance, so you are going to get out of custody without having to post a bond. You will then be responsible for getting yourself to that hearing on May 13th. And once you're out of custody, you cannot operate a motor vehicle if you don't have a valid driver's license.
Okay.
Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
I just wanted to say I had missed my payment because I'm on the payment for my license.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it's possible that you can take that up with MVD and get it corrected before your hearing on the 13th. If you do, I'm not saying you have to, but if you do that, take that documentation to the court to your hearing on the 13th and present that to the West McDowell judge.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gibson. You can step back and get your paperwork.
All right, thank you.
Alejandro Razzo to the podium in the courtroom, please. Thorn Watchhouse, if you would please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
Alejandro Razzo, January 22, 1988.
Thank you, Mr. Razzo. You are here on an allegation of a new charge. That allegation is 1 count of driving on a suspended driver's license. It is a class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause to support that allegation. Because it is a misdemeanor, you're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. You do still have the right to counsel, though. You'll just have to hire a lawyer if you wish to be defended. Your next court hearing will be an arraignment hearing May 15th. It will be at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Encanto Justice Court. I am releasing you on your own recognizance, so you will be released from custody. That means it will be your responsibility to get yourself to your next court hearing on May 15th. Once you are out of custody, if you don't have a valid driver's license, you cannot operate a motor vehicle. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Razzo. You can step back and get your paperwork. George Cazares to the podium in the courtroom, please. Anthony Romero, if I could ask you to please work your way to the second chair. Can I have your name and date of birth, please?
George Manuel Cáceres, 8/11/94.
Thank you very much. You are here on an arrest warrant that was issued after a direct complaint was filed. A direct complaint is a written document that alleges new allegations against you. In your case, the allegations in that direct complaint are 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a class 6 felony. They are alleged to have been committed June 14th of 2023. I have appointed a lawyer to defend you against those allegations. Your next court hearings will be a status conference May 13th and then a preliminary hearing May 15th. They will both be at 8:30 in the Superior Court downtown. I am releasing you on your own recognizance on this warrant, so that means you will be released from custody. You do not need to post a bond. Once you are released from custody, you will be responsible for getting yourself to both of those next court hearings. You also cannot possess any drugs without a valid prescription once you're out of custody. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you very much, sir. If you'll gather your